on this Monday. How was your weekend, honey? Mine was good. Listen, do me a favor. Share this on somebody's timeline, in a group, honey. Just share it in the marriage club, something, honey. Because, listen, it happened to the best of us. And, of course, you know the routine. Click on them 13 links. Shop with your girl. Buy your t-shirt from the Love Collection. Or either a book. My newest book is Ask God for an Answer. For all the single ladies. All the single ladies. Offense in marriage. Let's talk about it. Okay. You know, story time. So let's get right into it. I had got really offended some years ago because I was in the process of purchasing a new home. And I was the kind of person that always had like a bucket list. And on my bucket list, I wanted to have purchased the home by this certain time. So what I began to do was work on my credit and all this good stuff. And I would mention it to the individual. Hey, I'm finna buy a house. I'm doing this. I want to go see houses today. Never would the person say or ask me any questions about it. They just would listen to me say that I went and looked for a house. So I found the house. Now, what was so special about this house, number one, was it took me forever to build my credit score up and to find a lender. God, one night, I reached out to this young lady that was working on my credit, Miss Yvette, out of Albany, and she referred me to this agency. And when I called the guy that night, he was like, "Oh yeah, you good? We gonna what your credit score was?" And I think I had like a 618. So he was like, "Oh no, that ain't no problem. We're gonna make sure you get into the house." Blah 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 blah. And I was excited about that. I even told the person about that, and they just wasn't enthused at all. So I moved forward with purchasing the house. And what was so exciting about the house, this particular house, is that me and my realtor did a whole lot of work to get in this house. My realtor helped me get my credit score up, and I was only allotted 99,000, however you say it, 99,3 okay? And they were wanting 159 for it. It was the old doctor's house. And it had like this big old shed built onto it. It had a doctor's office built onto it, a brand new doctor's office built onto it, because he was retiring and he wanted to, you know, continue his practice, but he was doing it off his property. It was like over 3,000, almost 4,000 square feet. So it was a pretty nice size house. When I took my mom to see it, she was like, "Now what is you gonna do with all this space? Baby, I don't care. I gotta prove." So my realtor suggested that I write the couple a letter, because their children was not let down on the extra $50,000. So he told me to write the older lady a letter that was in a nursing home and tell her what good care I would take of the house. So I wrote the letter, explained my situation about the loan. I did all of this because I wanted the house. And guess what? They approved me for it. The lady accepted the offer, and I was just overly excited then that the offer was taken. So I went home, and the individual said, "Who told you I want to move?" "To who? What? Is you crazy?" That was the response. "Who told you I wanted to move?" And at this time we was renting, and the mortgage would be less than the rent. So I was like, I'm confused. So I started calling around. I called my brother first, thinking that he was going to be like, "Man, pump that. Jump over his head." Okay? That wasn't the response. "Good morning, everybody." So then I called my daddy. He a pastor. His response was, "Mama," he called me Mama. "Mama, just do what this person is telling you to do, and God gonna bless you." So I said, "What?" He said, "Do what he said, and God gonna bless you." Now that pissed me off to the highest, because that wasn't the response that I wanted. I wanted you to say, "Nuck if you buck. Nuck if you buck." Like, those are the kind of answers I'm looking for. Hello? Not lay down and be a pushover. So I had to call the realtor, and then I had to call the person, the company that lent me the money, they was like, what? Everybody's response that had anything to do with this situation was like, what? Right? So I had to let it go. I had to let the house go. After all the hard work I put into purchasing the house. Now, I had been through a lot of stuff with this individual. Like, a lot. And this was the straw that broke the camel back. I was so mad. I was so offended. And I started planning in my mind what I wasn't going to do. What I wasn't going to do. Just all kind of stuff was going through my mind. Because I was really, I was beyond offended. I was broken. And in disgust. Because I just couldn't believe that you made me cancel that deal. And you didn't understand all the hard work I had put into it. So I got offended. Yes, I'm going to church. I'm giving God all the glory. And I know about offense because it was another person that I worked hard to get over. But this person was the person that was in the house with me. So I had to learn how to maneuver in this space with this other person that I just could not stand. And I did. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I didn't try to, but I wind up resenting that person and having a hatred towards that person. Not to where I wanted something bad or evil to happen to that person, but I just couldn't, like, I shut down. I went completely numb because I felt like, now I done been through so much. I done took so much, but this was the straw that broke the camel back. Has anybody in your marriage felt like, I just can't do it no more? I'm done. God, you take the wheel. I wanted Jesus to take the wheel, my toes, my whole soul, because I just could not. I just couldn't maneuver. I was miserable. And I didn't have no understanding. Now, later on, God did allow me to go through the process again. Listen, I got so distraught by this situation. One way that I dealt with frustration and agitation with in the marriage was I would do stuff to myself. Like I would go cut all my hair off, or I did stuff to purposely sabotage my credit score because I was upset and I was offended. Now, what I should have did was sat down and had conversation. But you know, and I know, when you're in situationships with somebody that's stubborn and hard-hearted, it's hard to get past the first layer. And it becomes more of an issue because you leave more frustrated than before you went there. You was already frustrated, but then when you go trying to to my, hi dear loved one, I need to talk, we need to talk, and it just goes sideways. You're like, you know what, that's why I can't do you. So I use this as an excuse because I was offended, because it had went from being offense. I was never jealous. I was offended and I was betrayed. Never felt jealousy. It was those two for me, offended and betrayed. I started doing stuff to betray that person's trust, and it left the door open within my soul for me to feel okay about having an affair. I felt justified. I felt like you don't know my name. Like I just felt like okay about what I was doing, because in my mind, you done did so much to me. I done sacrificed so much for this, and you still doing it. And then it's just something like seemed as if Jehovah God was not helping me. So I just took matters in my own hand, and I started pop, lock, and dropping. Talking about Captain D's coming, Captain D's coming, ride. Like I just went crazy, to be honest with you, because I did not have that to do. But I used the situation, the way I felt, the way it made me feel, the fact that I never did deal with the offense as a reason to do what I wanted to do. And baby, I did it good. I was doing it and doing it and doing it well until I got a Holy Ghost slam. Okay? That's what offense will do to you in a marriage. It'll make you start doing stuff that you know you normally wouldn't do. You would normally not be okay with sleeping with somebody else's husband. But because you offended, you use your offense as a coping mechanism to be okay with the bad decisions that you make in your marriage. You will shut down, completely down. Like, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. I'm not doing nothing extra with you. I'm not doing nothing extra for you. And within myself, this is what I had to do to cope with it. I had to pretend as if I was in an arranged marriage inside my head. And you don't have to love people that you're in an arranged marriage with. The people just get married all the time and you don't have to love them people. I just was trying to come up with a way to cope with it. Because if you could unzip me, I really was a raging dragon underneath. Because I was so angry and so mad for so long. I was mad about that now. If mad was a person, it'll be me. Because I just didn't have no understanding to why I had to put in all that hard work and letting you know each step of the way, and then the response will be, who told you I wanted to move? I struggled with that for a long time. The point of all of this is, I know that whether you the male or the female, sometimes things happen to you that wound your spirit. The affairs didn't really wound my spirit because I had grown callous to that. Like, I was just callous to that. The arguments didn't really do anything because I had grown accustomed to that. But when I put in all that work, and the thing about it was I had a goal. I wanted to do this before a certain time. And I wasn't able to do it. It just broke something in me. I'm just being honest with you. Everybody had their own breaking point. Yours may not be mine. But I was offended, girls. And I had to learn how to, I had to ask that person for forgiveness because I just was through. I was too through. I was too through. If through was a person, baby, it would be me because I just didn't understand. So when you're dealing with offense in your marriage, to me, what I should have done and what maybe you can do is talk to that person. I don't know what it is about men of color, but they seem like they don't never want to go to no therapist. But listen, I'm here to tell you that sometimes is one of the best things that you can do for your relationship is go to a therapist, someone that's able to listen to both parts of the story, and y'all can start hashing things out. When you go to therapy, a lot of times you mess up because the other one of the parties gonna get offended by something that the other party said because I didn't know you feel like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like you making up stuff. They get mad. But anyhow, therapy is needed. A space, equal opportunity space where you're able to get out what's on your chest. The word of God said that we're made free. You could be made free. You could be made whole by your own words. So deal with what it is. I couldn't change the fact that I canceled the contract because that it was over there. I lost. But that's not where God wanted me to be. I had to look at it like that. God didn't want me to be over in that house. He wanted me to be in this house. My mama said, you want to make sure you're in something that just in case anything happened and there's only one income, you will be able to handle this on your own. So don't go jump into something that's beautiful that you know that you want. You know, I mean, it's okay to have stuff that you want, but you got to be practical and realistic. Your pocketbook may not always be able to pay this, so get something that you know that you can handle on your own. So that's what I did. I purchased the house years later, but I had to do extra work because I'm having an inside out temper tantrum, and I messed up my credit, done cut all my hair off, mad. We have to talk about things. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult, but we can't come to a conclusion. We can't solve nothing that we ain't willing to sit down and talk about. You need to stop. Listen, either I don't know if it's you or the other person, but stop acting like can't nobody say nothing to you. Catch you a bubble, hold both of your cheeks together so that you can hear what the person is saying. And just because they're not saying what you want to hear does not mean that's not their truth and that's not their perspective of you. Because you're thinking just because everybody at your job think you great, your spouse might not spouse may not think that you're the greatest person in the world. They may not need to tell you what they see from their perspective, because you're only looking at yourself through the lens what you can see. You might be nasty, hypocritical, don't ever want to have sex, always got a headache, like stuff like that. You need to hear what the other person is accusing you of, so that you can work on it, so that you can work it out. Don't go to a meeting with your walls already up thinking that that person is the one that is so bad. No, little sister, because we do stuff too. You have to go in with an open heart and an open mind, willing to receive and change what it is that the person see that getting on their nerve, because they got nerves too. You see what I'm saying? They may not verbally say it the way we're saying it, because God just made us like that. We're verbal. We gonna tell you. Is. We just is. So when you're dealing with offense in your marriage, communication is key. And when somebody communicating with you, we always say this, girls, you don't hear me if your behavior don't change. If I'm talking to you, if I'm giving you, you know, this is what's wrong with me, this is what's bothering me, this is what I need you to do, I need you to do that. I need you to work on that. I don't need you getting your booty on your shoulder, acting like you ain't never did nothing. Yes, I'm offended and I'm mad, and I need you to fix that. Alter that, my boy. Don't have the other person putting in the elbow grease, and then it's another thing. You could do it strong and long for 2 weeks, and then you go back to your bad behavior. I'm going to be mad at you again, and we're going to have to keep redoing the same thing over and over again. Remember, anything that you do consecutively for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So put it within your mind that I need to make sure I do this for at least 21 days, so it won't be like a routine. It will just become normal. This is going to be something normal that I do. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And then we need to, at the end of the day, do a checkout. Okay, so how did I do today? Was it better? I need to work on it some more. Like, you gotta, what else you think I can do? Become y'all own therapist together. Okay, I did this today. I was trying to make sure we was good. You know what I'm saying? You got to have these kind of conversations with your spouse when you're trying to get over an offense, and put everything on the line. I'm mad because you did this. I'm mad because you did that. Now, if I see you doing these behaviors, this triggers me. Da 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 da. Like, we need to talk about it all, baby. Because anybody finna keep going through this with you, and I married you, and I don't want to be miserable and married. So, I hope this helps somebody on this morning, because your girl was struggling for some years thinking that it was okay. But the root cause of it was you got offended. You didn't deal with the offense. So now you're trying to justify what you're doing. And there's no justification for you doing. The Bible says you're supposed to treat people the way you want to be treated. And if you know you don't want nobody to cheat on you, why are you cheating on them? That's not how you get you no lick bite. You feel me? So as I close, I pray that you have a marvelous week, honey. And do your girl a favor, click on one of those links, 15, 13 links, and shop with me. But know that offense is the bait of Satan. This is how he take a stronghold over your life and have you going to church, worshiping, praying, doing all this stuff, but there will be no movement because it's an offense there. You got to handle that so that you can grow and glow. You got to handle that for you can grow and glow. You can't get over, you can't step over an offense. And most importantly, how can two walk together if they don't agree? You and your spouse supposed to be dominating, taking over your region, which is your house, seeing prosperity in your house, but you won't be able to see nothing because you're at odds with each other. So deal with your offense, and I love y'all. Have a wonderful day.